learn how to get out of positions, okay? And I'll get CJ, come here real quick. You can get side control for me. Facing. Go ahead and do a quick hop to the other side. Boom. That's the lesson, guys. How to be agile and quick. Hop from one side to the other side. Alright, so we're here in side control, okay? You're gonna face a few side controls. So let's talk about one of the basics is don't end up there, right? That's one of the things. If you ever ask possum, how do I get out of something? This first response, but don't get there. So let's talk about some prevention first. And we'll talk about a few things. And guys, it's a small group of us. If you want, Rachel could be like, hey coach, I get here and this don't work. Okay? And I always have this happen, and we can talk about it. So first thing you see, CJ's in a good side control. CJ might not necessarily lock his hands under my shoulder, but some people will. They'll lock their hands, whether they use a gable grip, S grip, whatever. And notice he's got his head down, he's underneath my shoulder, he's pulling me in. It's an uncomfortable position for me. Shoulder, he's under my other shoulder. We're sitting here, we're kind of stuck, okay? So if we can back up a few steps, right? CJ's passing. As he's passing in, we want to block this arm, because if he gets around our head, he controls us, right? It's a good control. If we're here and they're passing, we need to put our hand, some people will say put your hand here so he can't get under or around your head and you can turn it around. I like to go for the bicep or the shoulder and kind of put my hands up here, maybe like a diamond if I need to, or the bicep, and then sometimes I'll even pull it down and kind of, maybe throw it around my arm and bring it here so it's away from my head. CJ, go ahead and put a good side control. See how he reached up and got around my head? My hand got too close. Now, what does this mean, Stick? What does this mean? Does it mean I'm totally getting dominated? It's gonna happen if you don't make a move, right? He got too close around my head. He's almost there all the way. So CJ brings his hand underneath my neck and then locks it in. See how it slides up and now he's here. Look at my arms. I'm gonna sit up straight up. See where my arms are? I don't have a whole lot of strength here. It's compressed up. But I have my arms out here, not completely straight, but here, like a little bend into the bend, there's more strength here, right? I can frame. I can let my elbows and stuff rest here, right? And you don't just sit here holding a frame. You'll hear us say frame on them. Frame on them means here to hold their weight up, so they feel like they're putting all the pressure on them. But you don't sit here and just hold it as long as you can hold it. You get here in order for you to move your hips freely underneath the frame. You don't just go, I'm framing, and just wait till your frames get out, and you're like, oh, coach, this works. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, as you just saw, I framed, but if I don't do something with my lower body, and I just rely strictly on this frame, the frame over time will fail. It will collapse, and then I'll end up here. So, before it even starts, we get here, we escape out to bring our knee in. How much space do you need to get your knee in? Just enough space as your knee is. You don't need a ton of space. Boom. Here. My knee is between he and I. We're here. Now, but coach, they will come in and grab my shoulders and pull themselves in, and then they go around my knee. Oh man, that is terrible, but it's true. It's gonna happen. Here, we stop it, we get our knee in. Watch what I do. I'm still compressed. Watch. I'm going to point my knee towards his hips as I straighten my body out. This is a simple move that you can do to keep somebody away from you, especially when they start gaining ground and they start compressing your body. Even from a position like this, we're here. CJ could get around my upper body. He could lock me in and then just start bringing his hip and knee in close, and I'm getting compressed in here. My knee's still in front of his hips, but I'm in no position to generate any kind of energy or counter, right? So when you're here, let's say we hit the skate and we put our knee in, I'm here. If CJ starts reaching for me, right, even if he grabs around my head, boom. Before he compresses me completely, I point my knee that way, and I straighten my body out. I like to bring my other leg over to clamp him down so he doesn't hop over my leg. So I'm here. Now, tables have turned. CJ's now extended, his arms straight out. His posture isn't great. He's gonna have to adjust. expect him to adjust. CJ, from here, you would bring his arm back to safety, start trying to mount some kind of pass at me. But where did my hands automatically go? Back to his shoulder, back to his arm. And I bring my knee in. Look what I have between him and I. Boom. So when you're thinking of side control, getting put in side control, before you're put in side control, everyone's moving around. The more pieces of you, legs, arms, whatever, that you can put between you and your opponent and keep them there, the harder it's going to be for them to get to where they want to be. And where do they want to be? Here. He wants to control my head, shoulders, an insensitive training part. It's actually wherever his head goes, he can't come up and get side control without his head. Right? So I have to post. I can bring my legs in. I can bring this across and keep things away. Right? The more I can do that. Let's say he starts getting the better of my arm and pressing me. Yeah. Well, I bring a knee in. Just put a knee in. It's not, you don't have to know a ton. Just get your knee in. Throw that leg over and hug him. From here, it's a different game now. CJ's like, oh crap. My arm's out. See, he wants to get that arm back, right? Let him get that arm back. I straightened out, got away from this danger. Boom, I'm here. Right? From here, there's all kinds of things going on right now. Right? You got legs up on the shoulder. You got a leg down here. CJ, he's going to try to pass. He's moving. And I just simply keep my hands here. Now, can I ask a real quick question? What's my body positioning right now? CJ, move away from this. What am I not doing? Not laying on my back. And that's what a lot of people do when they start. So it's the downfall of most people. They start wanting to do this.
I actually noticed that a minute ago. I was already taking a mental note of that.
Yeah.
That's something you do really well. All learners.
On my side. Why do I stay on my side? Mobility. And it keeps me from getting crushed. It's hard to crush me when I'm on my side. Right? If I'm here, and CJ gets past my guard, he puts weight on my chest and diaphragm. He comes in, he can change my voice. Notice when I'm talking, my voice changes because he's applying pressure. But if I'm here, it's tough, right? It's tough to get me on my back. He can get me on my back. If I allow things to happen, here we go. He gets me on my back. But if I'm here, I'm mobile. This foot can dig these little pinky toes. Step up. Look at that. This is all day right here. Seems weird. You're like, really? That works? I can use that to move my whole body and allow this to stay in between. And the arms to defend while this foot. And that's not here. It's right there. Okay? So, for a minute, before we go into the escapes once you got caught, let's go into just working our hands, our legs, putting them between us and our opponent, and seeing how that fares, and seeing how we feel. And don't get on your side. If you're the partner that's on top, if you put them on their side, you're like, oh, you're on your partner. You put them on their back, you're on your back. Get up. Boom, you're on your back. I got you on your back. Walk through that for a couple minutes, just so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. If you have questions, ask, and then we'll go into the side control escape. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3. Well, you can swim everything. Because what do you come to do? You swim that field now. Most times people drop it. Oh, but if I can get here, you grab that. Not here. So, switch. If I'm on my back, I won't have my other than that, I'm going to stay on my side. Okay. Over here.
Yes.
Oh, I just automatically my light shit is this way. Right. It's pulling me this way. Oh. That's just really. Right on the speed. Here you can do it. On my hand. Wait. Here. You can straighten. I would always this. I just stuck. I couldn't get my fingers out.
I was gonna say that.
I thought you were trying to do that on purpose.
No, I'm set.
I thought that was a move.
It is,
You
kind of.
noticed I had my thing to use.
It is kind of in the tournament.
Oh, really? You thought you were supposed to? We'll see. I think I'll look like that. I'm good. You can come on hand like this and I just get out.
Because I think it should be interesting say. Notice that sweeps over my spot. Yep.
This is, I know it, I said, get the leg in, on the side, on the back. On the side.
But after you do that, then you get the hand to hand.
Oh, he was trying to stop. Well, it's like when I come around, trying to tell him how he's like, he's had this. He's worried about your hand.
So, and we just talked about that. So, the swing set, the automatic next thing you're gonna do, is you're gonna bring that underneath and go on the bicep. You're in here, push off your knee. Or actually, come here, TK. Right shoulder. So, TK's here, now boom. And I like to come here too. TK starts to swing the brick. The reason being is the person who does this, they break this grip a lot of times when they're here. I'm coming in here. You get his anchor up high, he's gonna pull me down with his elbow, and you just pass. And then you just try to so when you're grip fighting, hand fighting, or however you want to call it, over here, come in. If I feel these guys grip, or I lose that in that single wrist, here. I'll come here with TK, he breaks it, boom, and I'll just pin here like that. Now go ahead and bring me in.
I'm like a strap between your body and the ground.
What we did is create more pressure, you stood straight up. What's stopping you from reinserting my elbow? Draw this. Right, straight now. I'm just going for this. Boom. If you can get here, just hold. I'll try. I'm not squeezing your body. Just give me a second. That's pretty good. He's got to make a move, and all I got to do is wait. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to start adjusting his movement. He's going to
Hey, now I can't twist things.
So, back in and you're going for it. Sit up. They don't want to swing out. Bicep. You notice how every time you swim, grab the bottom leg, body foot, leg flat. If they're so focused on getting that, they're not thinking of anything else. You're going to blend certain things at once, getting those legs. So notice, I even stayed on my side when I grabbed the full body, but what we work on is you never want to go to your back. Because you have full guard, feet in both hips. Control. You don't want to go on your back. Always make sure you don't go to your back. So you stay. Even when I just grab you just now, control on my back. Definitely grips. Just always. So that if you're focused on the little, before you go big, I usually have a phrase called go big before you go little. I'm talking about some things. If I grab your arm, get it on the big, holding your forearm up before I get to your wrist. If I try to grab your wrist straight out, I'm trying to grab like money versus a big fish, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have a better chance of big. Wrap the arm up, hold it. Smash it. So with that, you're small. You fail on that, go big. Bicep. Biceps is a target. That is a target. We just talked about the side things. When we were doing our grip fighting, and I come in like this, and the person breaks this grip or goes to my lapel. And I was saying that when they go through lapel on this and he's in this position, they're most likely going to grab an anchor, press me down. Pull me down with his elbows, pull me in, pull his elbow down. Yeah, he's gonna press me down. Go back. So instead of continuously fighting for this wrist, we're here. If he breaks that grip, no problem. He swims, I swim. And I go to the bicep. He swims, I swim. You don't want to try to come this way, right? So if he breaks my grip, I don't want to come over because guess what? Now he just pushes on the bicep. Yeah. Now I'm stuck. Yeah. And he just drops in and he's good. So when you swim, he swims, I swim with him. And I'm coming up to his elbow, to his bicep here, right? If it gets to be too strong, let's say this arm is really strong, and he's reaching and you feel like you're losing, right? So he's, yes, well go back, that's a good point. He reaches in, underneath. Where did that? Brought my elbow down. So I'm adjusting the angle, which is bad for him. Because what's this doing for his arm? It's turning his shoulders a little bit. If I can come in and get that going, there's no post for him to stop me from sweeping. So he might switch, and boom, stop this here. I bring my knee up, maybe I do some adjusting, and I'm kind of tight here. He brings that arm out, come up, swim in, I'm here, swim in. If I feel like he's beating me, TK's got the biggest biceps in the world, he makes everybody look small, he reaches over, and he's just still coming in, I'll start to go to that shoulder, now watch what happens. Toes, leg, I can use my legs now to press him back, not just my frame. Lift this over.
But wait, before we get too far away from that arm, what was happening was he was staying committed to that cuff like this, and I swam my hand and caught his fingers.
Yeah, I got wrapped in.
You got that?
Yeah. So here's what I'll say about the cuff grip. In a position where I don't have the ability right now to create tension, I'll use cuff grip from here. Why? Well, because I can create a push-pull where him trying to swim his hand, it will be nothing. Swim your hand around. I can create tension. Swim your hand around. Not as easy. I'm in a neutral position where I can't create the tension. I'm here. I can't swim your hand around. Yeah. See how I can't get that far away from him enough to make the tension on his arm? Just grab his wrist. You'd be surprised. Grabbing the wrist with the sleeve and E on there, it's strong. It's like sandpaper around your wrist, and you can really hold on to it. And if he slips it out, and I'm just not ready, I'll go to this grip. We'll do a judo style grip. That just slows him down a second or two more. And if he tries to swing his hand out, and we're here, kind of move it some, maybe reinsert my leg, maybe put something in there, but then it stops him. It stops him from being able to advance as much. So, and knowing that, learning that lesson, if you're grabbing those grips and they start swinging your hand around, you can really mess you up. This exercise, what we just did, was just to prevent them from getting that side control, that super tight side control. Sometimes you need to do that, you need to stop. We teach guard passing, we teach side control escape, we teach passing side control. There's that middle space where you're passing, they're defending. What do we do in those moments in between? And that kind of gets lost over sometimes. Where here's this and here's that, and here's this setup, here's that setup. We don't talk about those in between moments where what you can do to make or break the situation and help you to stay calm, right? What's going to take is some experience for you guys to realize that your opponent is coming in, creating anchors, getting lower, getting that pressure. The onus is on you to make frames and move your hips and do all that stuff in the bottom. You're not active on the bottom, right? You're going to spend a lot of time in sequence lines. If you have a mental break or a mental hurdle, where if a person gets to a certain point, you just completely suck for him, but this is definitely one of those things that you can use to prevent, so that you're preventing them from coming in and controlling you. So let's here, we're all here. Come here, Matt. So get on this side. So we're here, and all of our situations, we've screwed up at here, right? We're in this position. The first thing you need to do, guys, is you need to understand that, and this will be more principle than it will be actual move, okay? One of the things that you need to do in order to disrupt what he's got going on here is your biggest weapon is going to be messing with his head and his neck, okay? That's going to be your biggest weapon, because I have to get my hips away. And if Matt's super tight and he's got everything clamped down, he gives me no space to get any elbows in or to do anything. I'm going to have to do something to generate and make some space. I have to create something out of it. So what can I do to create some space? And this is turning into really more of a concepts than it is actual moves and stuff. So there's a few ways and a few different side control escapes that you can use in order to get somebody to give you space. Very rarely are you going to sweep somebody from a good side. Anybody who's got really good side control technique is going to be able to adjust in the moment, and you're going to have to get sneaky the higher up you get with the person, the higher they are level-wise. You're going to have to be sneaky. Simple things aren't going to work, but this is simple things that do work on everyone. If I can get his head off center, notice he moved his head a little bit. If my hip escape out, it's going to be a little easier. If I just tried to do that just now, he keeps this and he can just stay tight. Yes. Right? I tried to hip escape. I got to get this knee in. This is not going to work. He's moving with me. So what I can do then is I can come across his head, and it works either if they're facing you or looking away from you. It's more of a cross face here. Right? So I get here, and I can bump, and I can hip escape away and bring my knee in. Once you get the knee in, what will we do from here? Remember, when we're compressed and we have a knee in, how do we make space? We press away. It's not always going to be this straight away. Matt don't want to let go. So when I go press away, he's going to hold it. Look, he's shifting his hips. He's moving with me. Signs that he's been in side control before he knows what to do. He's not going to let you get away. Now, one point that you'll see me put my hand in their hip, notice I'm never putting my hand in their hip. It'll always be my wrist or my forearm. Reason being is because Matt switched his hips really fast, boom, like that, and that is a very good, nice, slow demonstration. But if you get somebody like, I guess, an Aston, a wrestler, or somebody who's really fast, your hand's like this. When he switches his hips, I can't get my wrist out, and it'll break your wrist. So let's not break our wrist. Does the same if I put my here, my blade, or I like to put just a little spot right here against their hip, and I just stick my arm out, right? So if he goes to switch his hips, go ahead. If anything, I can just kind of keep pushing back, and I can slide my hand out, kind of move it. It doesn't get trapped, because my arm's not sitting like this. My arm's kind of straightened out some, right? If I feel my wrist start to bend some, I'll bail on it. Let him have it back. So boom, he's back here in side control. We're here. We can bring our arm here to get his head off center line and make it uncomfortable for him, right? The other thing that we can do is we can bring our wrist underneath, and if we can land here, this is perfect. Fingers cupping his shoulder, right? And if you can get your hands in on his shoulder and grab both here, this is a good one too, right? So he's here. What we can do at this point, our feet, come here, we can adjust. Here. You catch somebody slipping with this, you can a lot of times you can just roll straight over there. Be like, oh my God. But at the very least, you'll be able to get your knee in, right? But what the important thing was, we here, we had our hands here on the shoulder, and Matt's sitting here with his head. Now, what I don't do is I don't sit up or sit down. I don't do this. It's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this. Watch the difference. I'm lifting his whole chest. If he just let himself relax, it's not. I can't really do anything. Kick generator. Look, he puts his chin over. He starts relaxing. He's like, oh, dude, you're so weak, right? But then he relaxes that again. He relaxes, and I lift my elbow. Notice it changed the direction of everything, and it gives you space. Here. you're super fast, shoot that underneath, and you work the way to get out. Now you have another hook, right? Or he comes in. And a little note about hip escapes, guys. You can do as many as you need to. And you will have to do more than one. Have it in your mind you're going to do more than one hip escape every time. Because doing the one hip escape, it's rarely effective enough to get that knee in, unless you're just out of position. Person not out of position, it's tough. So we're gonna get here, come back. Boom, we're gonna work this. We're gonna get here, right? If we can get our elbow in here, putting our wrist on the hip, we can adjust his head, hip escape out, bring our knees and legs in, go to full guard, straighten out, come to a better neutral position. Right? Or sit up a second. When they're coming in, like he's coming in to get his side control, this kind of sets this up. So if you start to lose your frames, adjust your frame to this. Right? So now we're here. We can elbow up into the ceiling. Do the same thing. All right, give it your parts, give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. So don't swing it. So I want you to do this here. I want you to just
And then, as soon as you can,
Yes. You know that it's not crossing. Yeah. So if you try to go across the day, boom, you go about that. Works quick. The other one is your friend. Right? Give this one a try. So from here, I get underneath your elbow, and then what I can do is I can quick get over here. The shoulders and elbows don't work as well as they used to, but now we're here. Good. Come in. If I get space, just cut very space. Here. For that full here. I can see these. I come there, and you're already like, nah, I can see that. But if I catch you here, it's like, see, just adjust it. That's all it is. And you're going to do it kind of follows. If you need space,
do you need a mile worth of space?
no. So we're ready.
Hand blade, left hand blade, left hand blade on it. Lower leg, right hand get that through the chin, grab the shoulder, flaring up that elbow.
Press down. Push his hip with your wrist. With your wrist on.
Left leg in on the middle line. Push off that leg, break these hands straight.
That's good. So, did you see this? So, when you're all the way in here, you're trying to change the adjustment of the
Hand blade on hip.
No, the other one.
Left hand
No, stop.
in their chin. Flare them one time, get them off. Squeeze down, flare them again.
Different?
Yes.
Matt, how's that? Big time. You showing that. Feel on the bottom? So Matt tries to come across your head. You just go straight across your face with it. So just take it. Yeah. You can fight that back. Put your head. Yeah. Now, Matt, bring that up to the crown. Now, fight back on that. So you're making a move.
Hand blade on hip.
You're not trying, like I said, we're not trying to throw him off. We're trying to move him enough to make some space.
Leg in on him.
So if I'm fighting a larger portion of your head, you can fight back. Guess what? My goal is going to achieve because you feel as though you can resist. But if Matt puts that on the crown here, instead of here, and you start, all he needs is enough space to get knee. He doesn't need you to like fly across the room. He doesn't need you just to get that knee. Yeah. Give that a shot. Yeah, it's a difference between you trying to like press or angle. So you're here, nice. Now bridge with that and then get your good. Yes. When you get here, grab his arms. When you're reinserting your guard, everything that you had, you earned it, right? So go back and I'll walk you back. So you're here. Go slow. Just get the angle. Boom. You hip out. Go ahead and put that knee straight across. Now stop. This hand now pinches, grab. This one, grab. Now straighten out. Now do you feel like you got a better position? How's that feel, Matt? Rough? Arms are, and you've got both feet in between them. They're in a much better position to start an offense. Matter of fact, you can kind of see how you feel, which side you want to sweep him to, because he has no more posts in his hands. For me, this grip here, that's a strong grip back there. This one, if you can't get a grip, get your hand over here and pinch your elbow to your body. And then all you gotta do is this. Space. Now you're there. How's that feel, Matt? Thank you. Yeah. And pushing with the knee, look at that. You're creating this in space. And notice the shoulders will turn. When you press with your knees, watch. You see how the shoulders turn? He's naturally going one way. Just keep pushing. There you go. See? Yeah. All right, guys. Turned into more concepts, which I find, I don't know about you, I find the concept stuff it's better.
I needed that.
You gotta learn the moves, I get it, and we gotta learn these things, but to be honest with you, I'm not gonna try to, you can learn a move on YouTube. You can see it, come in, and go over a move. You can get A, B, C, D, and E. And then, but the stuff that we just went over today is more the hidden secret stuff that they talk about nowadays. Now they're promoting invisible jiu-jitsu. It's not so much invisible as it's such a small detail that was never given that you were just like, this jump don't work. It just doesn't work. Well, it's little tiny micro adjustments. And so that's what you watch. So when you're watching a DVD, movie, instructional, they're gonna tell you, the best ones to watch I think are like your Danaher ones, because they go so deep into the minutiae of detail that it's almost too much. So if you haven't been doing jiu-jitsu long, I wouldn't say drown in that. But when you start watching somebody do a move, think about when you try that move and where you don't get success, where they are getting success, and watch it again and see where their foot is, see where their hand is, see where their hips are, see where their leg is. You'll find a detail. You'll go, oh, wait a minute, this guy's talking about grab the arm, finish with the lock, but notice his hips stayed really close the whole time, there was no space. Those kinds of things. You pick up those details over time, all right?